Hello beautiful people, you are welcome back again to my channel. It's so nice to see your faces again today. My name is Joy and this is Joy Bliss Concepts. If you are new to this channel, you are most welcome, and if you are a returning subscriber, I appreciate you. In today's video, I'll be talking about some basic sewing skills you need to know. And if this sounds like what you love, kindly watch it to the end. And don't forget to give this video a like, comment, and also share this video. First of all, you need to learn some sewing terminologies. Yes, because you can't just wake up one day and you start sewing. I understand some persons may be gifted, but you just need to learn some sewing technology because you could actually be doing it, but you don't know what it is called. For example, when I tell someone, please help me pipe this cloth. Pipe, it means different things in different contexts. It could mean pipe. Plumbers use the word pipe. Even in the house, we can call something pipe. And we also have it in the sewing world. So that's why you need to learn some technology. So when I'm talking about piping, most times I'm talking about how you can do a neat finishing for your neckline. Okay? So when I say please let me pipe the dress, if a vast person, or if it's somebody that has been sewing, the person will totally understand. But if you have not been in the sewing line, you will not understand what piping means. Or if I tell somebody, help me get size 18 needle, this and that, there are some things that people that are not in the sewing world will just be like, what is this one talking about? I could tell you, please let me get a gum stay, please I need a hair stay. They will sound funny to somebody that does not sew. So that is why you need to familiarize yourself with sewing technologies. Okay, I want to knit a shirt. Please, I need this kind of thread. So you first of all, you can get a handbook for that, for you to know. Any sewing handbook, I believe, will do justice to that. That will expose you to all these sewing terms. You also have like stitches. That one I'm going to do that in a separate video. What we just know is, please help me stitch that cloth. There are different kinds of stitches. You can have running stitches, you can have zigzag stitches. So you need to familiarize yourself. Okay, you want to get a needle, you need to know the kind of needle you should use to stitch. For the purpose of this video, I will not go to sewing with a sewing machine because that's why it is basic. Number two basic sewing skill you should also know is how to thread a needle. Most persons don't know how to do this. It sounds very easy, right? But yet it could be very difficult for some persons. Sometimes some people face the challenge of the eye of the needle being too small. So you need to be able to thread a needle, and when you are threading a needle, you need to know the kind of cloth you are going to be sewing with that needle. If you have to double the thread, yes, if you need to double your thread so it doesn't cut along the line, you double it. Then you need to also determine the size of the needle. Before now, I used to use the smallest needle, but I discovered that the eye of the needle was really, really too small. So I only use that when I want to do a kind of little beading. When there are some tiny beads that don't allow something too big. So you need those kind of tiny needles for that. Although we have beading needles, yeah. But in case you don't have that beading needle, you can actually use the smallest needles. So let's go to the third point. You also need to know how to choose your thread. For example, you want to sew a black cloth. Definitely it's a black thread that should go for it, not pink, not red. So you need to be able to choose your thread. And again, there are different kinds of thread. There are threads you use for design or for knitting. They are just normal thread. There are some thread that are very weak. When I say very weak, once you are sewing with them, once you just pull it a little, it will just cut. There are sometimes you may not see the actual color of the fabric, but there will be a very close substitute. So know how to choose your thread when you are trying to start the sewing journey. So the fourth one is you learn how to sew a straight stitch. If you're a beginner, this is very, very important because this is how you learn with your hand. That is probably how you will learn while sewing with your sewing machine. If you're a beginner and you want to start sewing a straight stitch, I would suggest you get your fabric, get your pencil, and draw a straight line. So try to sew along that line. You do this many times, and after you've seen that yes, I can sew a straight stitch, try not to draw the lines again and try to sew a straight stitch. Because if you don't do that, when you're also sewing on a sewing machine, it will affect you. You know, on a sewing machine too, you also need to direct your I don't know how to, is it your hand now, so that you can sew a straight stitch. Otherwise, you'll be having stitches that are like this. It shows the person is not a professional. So you need to learn how to sew a straight stitch if you are just coming into the sewing uh, world. So first of all, get your fabric. I'll prefer you use a bright fabric so that your pencil can show on it well. Get your rule, make a straight rule and try to sew in that line. Do it, you can make it slant, sew in that line. Do it, say, couple of times, then try to now sew without drawing a line. And you will see that you will start getting better. The fifth point is you learning how to sew a button. Yes, it looks easy or it sounds easy, but it's not that easy. Some buttons have two eyes or two holes, some have four holes, some have this kind of bulgy hook, like a kind of hook. When you're trying to sew a button, if you want to sew a button, you make sure the knotted part of your thread is on the wrong side of your fabric. That way you'll be hiding the knotted part. So it's like you put it from under and bring it out. Then you start sewing a couple of times so that the button will be firm. You can also repeat the same procedure if you are even sewing buttons with four holes or two holes. Then when you are done doing that, you then knot it again like 3 times before cutting it. If you don't do it like that, in no time the button may pull out. So you need to know how to sew a button because machine won't do that. I don't know if there are machines that sew buttons, but in most cases it is you that will use your hand, needle and thread to fix the button. And again, this is not only for those that want to learn sewing. There are sometimes, oh, we just bring out our shirt, even if you're not a seamstress or you're not, oh, there's no button here. At least you should have a needle and thread handy in the house. You can fix that yourself. It is not everything you will have to take out to go do. You can just do that as your own DIY, that is, do it yourself, and do that at home, and you save yourself stress and also spend less. Let's go to the next point. Use a pattern. Yes, this really helped me when I was learning sewing. And if you don't have the sophisticated pattern, you can create one for yourself. If you use pattern, I've learned that it makes your work more professional and it saves time in the sense that you can keep using that pattern to make different clothes. If I do a pattern for myself and I want to make a similar cloth, I can keep using that pattern. If I want to make for somebody not as big as me, I can take out some inches. If it's somebody bigger than me, I could add, okay? So it saves you time in the sense that you just place the fabric on your table or your work area, you place the pattern on it, mark it out, cut out. Takes time when you are trying to create the pattern, but they are already made patterns or pattern papers like this that I'm showing you on the screen now. They are already made patterns. You have the one for shirts, for dresses, for pants, already made, okay? And I also have the one I made for myself like this. I can always use this anytime, any day, provided I've not changed in size. Okay, even if I have changed in size, I can remeasure myself and try to cross check. Okay, if there's any difference in my size, I can make adjustment. So try to use patterns. But I learned if you don't use patterns, sometimes it's also faster. That is when you're already a professional. But if you are just learning, you need to create patterns. This will help you not to waste too much fabrics, because you can't be using your fabric as a pattern. You will waste so much. So try to get a pattern paper and create the kind of design you want with the measurement. And when next you want to sew something like that, you will just bring out your fabric and cut it out and you are good to go. So let's also go to the next point. You need to have the right tools. Like me, I have the professional rulers. Although if you don't have it, you can just play around it. But you need to have the right tools. You need to have the right scissors. Although I'm guilty of this, have the scissors for a particular fabric. If you use the scissors you use for your clothing to cut carton, in no time it will get blunt. Know the right surface to uh, place your fabric when you are trying to cut out your fabric. Know the right sewing machine, yes, to buy. The last but not the least is tying a knot. When you thread a needle, you will need to tie the ends. Some people can't tie that thing. You know, I had an issue with that initially. You want to tie it like this, you put it together and you tie it. You will just see that you are taking it far apart. But you need to learn it because it's what you continue to use all the days of your life when you are sewing, even when you are not sewing at all, because no knowledge is lost. So I will be showing you how to tie a knot, and you can also apply the same skills. Maybe you want to do like a ribbon, yeah. So you should also learn that skill too, because one thing can lead to another. You are learning how to tie a knot, but you don't know where you could use it. If you are a fashion person, there are chances that you can even become a craft person. Like me, I enjoy doing some little crafts. You can just apply that same knowledge of you tying a knot to tying a ribbon or a tie, normal male ties, you understand? So you need to learn how to tie a knot, and I'll be showing you that. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I hope this video has really been helpful. Please don't forget to like, comment and share this video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and don't forget to turn on your post notification bell so you will keep seeing my videos. See you all in my next one. Bye.